Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Troublmaker and this is another one of my how to cheese well. So today I'm doing an anti-protoss build. It's a specific build between the Terrans and the protosses. This one is known as just the Raven build, and it's something that I have promoted for quite some time. It's not a new build, it's quite an old build. And this one's kind of unique, and I like doing it because this is one of the first games to be brought to us by a North American. Yeah, a North American invented this build, and it was actually later adapted by Koreans. And it shifted to the metagame at some point, and now it's because it became so popular now, it really changed the way protosses and Terrans are going. Now, protoss are doing very, very different builds, and yeah, apparently they're not doing that anymore though. That idea now of doing very different builds is gone now. Instead what they're doing is they're doing back to their old standard stuff, except they're doing a lot more expansion stuff. So all these big maps, and this is a really big map, everyone kind of does like a one something expand, right? So I'm doing, racks, command center. I'm looking look pretty normal. I'm getting my gas once I got this probe shootout. So on these big maps, everyone just expects you to do like a one rack expand. That's not what's going to happen. So, doing pretty boring, normal stuff. And this is like, I wouldn't suggest doing this right away, but I'm also a little bit of a coward. I'm afraid of zealots. And he doesn't actually have a zealot going. I thought there's an animation here for that, but I was wrong. So I put down a bunker. You have the zealot's coming, as he's chronoing it out, put down your bunker. Once the bunker goes down and he spots it, he automatically knows that something weird is coming. Usually it's like, banshees, and so usually what people do is they get like a whole bunch of stalkers. And the counter stalkers is siege tanks. So we're going to put a reactor onto this racks, making this a reactor rush. And this is also a timing thing. This builds you time to get a lot of minerals up, a lot of gas up, and it just works to be perfect, and you double your production, so it's worth it. Put down the extra second gas. You can do this one a little bit later if you want, but I do mine early, just so that I have no gas problems later on with Raven. Just make sure you don't get supply capped either. This is a timing push. This is a build order win. So he's getting the watchtower, being a good protoss. He's getting, robotics. This is normal stuff. So with this build, unlike most cheese, you're not relying on the player scouting. In fact, you expect it. Robotics is pretty much the most common thing that protosses will do. Every now and then they'll do like something weird, like Void Ray or Phoenix, and in that case you have lots of Marines for that. So they're going to be able to scout this regardless. The reason why this bunker here is because what's going to happen is a lot of times people get like a Void Ray, and they'll attack, like if there's a depot here, they'll attack the depot, and they'll have a stalker shooting it max range. Of course, your Marines and Marauders cannot waddle their way to hit the stalker back, no matter how much you try. So they can just kind of like whittle down your buildings for free using this tactic. So this just beats that. You don't have to worry about it. If he comes from this side, just put in our bunker here. You can fight him back pretty easily though. So lots of Marinas. Marinas are very, very good. And this is 3-8 Robo. That's not really all surprising. He's building lots of observers, lots of detection. He's bringing his probe down just to kind of scout to see what's going on. He's going to find nothing, no expansion at all. So get the factory, and you're going to build siege tanks. But don't get siege stack. Just get 5 siege tanks. Trust me. This will all work out. And continue producing Marines. Look at what he's doing. We got 3 gateways and a robo, and no units coming out. Tons of cash. He is afraid of the Banshee. He's got all the stalkers in middle line. That's how you know. So he's got his observer coming up just in time for him to see absolutely everything going on. He's going to see the tank pop out. He's going to see the Banshee come, or not the Banshee, the Raven come out, and we're not really concerned with this at all. He can see all this shit. It's not going to affect the outcome of the match, which is the important part. And so he's still, has all his stalkers in the mineral line, because he's still pretty afraid of that Banshee. He doesn't know what's coming out of here yet. And it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for him. So I know the observer's in the base. I'm just pretending like I'm not so that he doesn't try to run it away. Because a lot of people will do snipe observers. Keep Marines, keep the tanks coming. And sometimes you might have to build a Hellion if you don't do the gas first thing. The really ridiculously early gas. So here comes the Raven out. And died. Free observer. Now he knows. So he's like, oh, well, if that's all he's got, I'm just going to bring all these guys up here instead. And he's going to mass produce immortals. Everyone kind of has their own little way of dealing with this. His way is just pump out immortals. Immortals are actually really, really hard to beat this with, to beat, because they just soak up so much damage and they deal so much tank damage. But yeah, that's gonna be not too hard to deal with. We're gonna get Banshees. We're not gonna get Cloak. Cloak is very expensive on the gas. Right around when you start building your 4th is when you start building your siege tech, which you will need. And so now we have a move out with all of his units, and unfortunately I do not have siege mode just yet, so it's actually decently hard for me to beat this. And he's got a little pylon down here, he's going to attack me with this proxy. If you have energy for a point defense drone, don't use it. If you use it, you will lose the match, or you'll have to expand, because yeah, you only have, you need basically like 1.5 when you push, and yeah. Observer's the key. Observer's the key. In that kind of push, the observer is the key, because you kill the observer, he doesn't have high ground vision. And the observer's gone. So yeah, that's our 5th tank right there. We have siege tech. Unfortunately, he's at our door, which is not good. So he is pulling back, and I'm coming out and forcing him away. Now, this is a little bit of protoss critique. If you're a protoss and you're dealing with this, you want to deal with it in the open, and you actually want to deal with it head on. You beat this push at my base, then you can re-macro at home and beat whatever remains. You should not run away from this. And I just, I don't even see him, like, I actually do not see him at all. He's just, so he has his position there. I move my guys all up into the attack position. His are still in strike position. Now, this is where you have a bad protoss choice. Now, I do have the bunker here just for counterattacks. It's not actually going to save me. I'm not going to put the SCVs to repair it, but whatever. On the actual push, you should bring like 2 or 3 SCVs with you. I don't, in this instance, just because I didn't see it particularly being valuable. He sees I'm pushing, and so he decides, oh shit, I gotta push. This is actually a really bad choice. You never all in a Terran. So, yeah. Now that I know his army's out here, I just gunner. I go for it. There's no need for timing here. But if you're going to do the push, tank, bunker, tank, bunker, tank, bunker, and just slow push your way up. Now, I moved my command center away. I still have my factory here, I still have my starport here, and he has to abandon these, because he knows right off the bat he can't win this off of a base trade. So I moved my tanks up to high ground. I'm going to siege them up here, and I'm going to put the Marines right here on the ramp, just so that I can do this. I did lose this tank, oopsie, but it does kill little stalkers, so that's not too terrible. And now I move the Marines back. I already have the point defense drone preemptively down, so I know he's coming back. And he's funneled, right? Oh yeah, just sticking around and watch the things die. So that's the Raven defense, the Raven push. It beats every Protoss cheese, and it does decently well against most Protoss defenses. Thanks for watching.